Hello, I'm Mark Scholaro, the owner of MS Classic Cars. Today, I'm sitting behind the wheel of a very special 1991 Dodge Stealth RT Turbo with 65 original miles. Yes, I'll say it again, 65 original miles. I purchased this car from the original owner. It's for sale right here, right now.
Creating state-of-the-art music is a little like creating a state-of-the-art car. It's got to look the part. And if you're going to want to go 0 to 60 faster than a Nissan 300ZX Turbo,
Dodge Stealth RT Turbo,
let yourself go. All-wheel drive, all-wheel steering, dual intercoolers, and twin turbos.
Dodge Stealth RT Turbo.
It's for real.
To start off this video, I'd like to mention this is non-rehearsed. There's a lot of information here that I might forget, probably will forget. So please visit our website at msclassiccars.com for a full description with tons of highly detailed photos. You can clearly read it, check it out, and make your own evaluation of this particular car. If you have not been following MS Classic Cars, or you have, you know that I only collect #1 and #2 condition vehicles. I love vehicles that are unique. I love high quality. And with this particular vehicle here, this is extremely, extremely special. At MS Classic Cars, we believe that this is not only the best example of a Dodge Stealth on the planet, but we also believe it's the lowest mileaged Dodge Stealth on the planet. So please pay close attention to this video. There's a lot of important facts here. Quick story, a lot of the times the cars that we collect here, I like to chase vehicles or find vehicles that have not been on the market forever. They haven't been through the gamut of auctions and every dealer and so forth. We like to find vehicles that we bring to the forefront and we put in the limelight like we are doing here with this vehicle. I like to also give credit to where credit is due. Most of the time, the cars that you see on our website, I personally take pride in finding myself and handling, you know, the transactions from start to finish, etc. But in this particular case, Corey Smiley, who works for MS Classic Cars, he actually found this vehicle. Kind of a interesting story, how long it took for us to make a deal on this car. Not only did I buy this particular car, but I also bought a 1972 Dodge Charger that's equipped with a 440 that we're going to be listing soon from the same client. The gentleman who actually owned this car unfortunately has passed, and I dealt directly with his wife on the two transactions. There are some pictures of this car that we took from the original ad that we're going to include within our photo gallery, so make sure to check that out. Those pictures show the car in his garage. You can actually see the Stealth parked on the right side. The car cover was taken off. You can still see all the plastic in the seats, the writing on the windows. You can see the license plate kind of hanging from the back. And you can see the other car, which is the 72 Charger I just mentioned, which was next to it. And you can see the car cover on that car as well. So those pictures we'll bring into this video, show you what that looked like so you can clearly see that. So getting into this particular car, I do have a list here of everything that I would like to cover on this particular car, and some facts that I want to go over here regarding these cars as well. The first thing I will state here is, and I pulled a lot of this information off the internet, this is included in this new binder that I create for every vehicle. We take all the information that we get for cars, we put them in here, we put them in date order. I put everything in plastic sleeves. This goes to the new owner so he or she can read through it, keep it for their own records, and keep it with the car. So the first thing that I wanted to go over here is the following. This article that I pulled off says, as launched in 1991, because these cars were actually produced from 1991 until 1996. So it says, as launched in 1991, the Stealth was very exciting. It was packed with features that were only offered on supercars of the era. What made the Stealth appealing was its price. This car still has its original window sticker attached to the passenger window. You can see through this camera here, I'm sure, that is the window sticker there. What I've done is I've taken a close-up photo of that window sticker. We've included it in our photo gallery, and I also placed it in this binder. It's right here in a plastic sleeve so I can read some of the details about it. But you will see here the sticker price on this car back in 1991 was $31,495. That was a pretty hefty price tag considering the time and everything else. But was not hefty was the amount of things that this car offered, again, compared to the supercars, which were priced much higher. So we talk about production numbers. Very important. Again, I pulled this off of a very nicely done, highly recommended website. This is the Stealth 316 Stealth/3000 GT website. This is a production guide. So what this does is it kind of gives you all of the different combinations in which these cars were produced and production numbers and so forth. Again, as I mentioned earlier, the Dodge Stealth was produced from 1991 to 1996. The RT Turbo is a twin turbo version of the Stealth, which is the sister car to the Mitsubishi 3000 GT BR4. As launched in 1991, the Stealth was exciting. Again, it was packed with a lot of features that we find in supercars today. So this particular vehicle had a 3.0 liter dual overhead cam, 24 valve, 6-cylinder that was equipped with a twin turbo from the factory. It had 300 horsepower. It's a lot of horsepower back in 1991. It also had 307 foot-pounds of torque, the real torquey motor, good horsepower. Dodge claimed it did the quarter mile in 14 seconds or thereabout, and also 0 to 60 time was 4.89 seconds. Again, if you go to different websites, these numbers are a little bit different depending on where you see, but it's anywhere 0 to 60 time from high 4s to low 5s, and the quarter mile time is high 13s to low 14s. But the bottom line here is these are very impressive numbers. So again, to get back to the production numbers, which again come off of that website that I had mentioned earlier, I highlighted this. This is included in the binder. Stealth production totals by model. RT Turbo in 1991, only 3,016 models were produced. So a very limited production of these were actually made in 1991 and actually throughout all of the years. Down here, we go into the color chart. As far as 1991 was concerned, of those 3,016 vehicles, only 698 of them were actually built in jet black, which is the color that you see here today. So we do have some pretty low production numbers. You'll have to spend some time, again, in our photo gallery and read through all of this information here that's included. There's a lot more technical information here that I also pulled off that website where I was reading from earlier. So again, all of that is included. So making our way down the list here, again, this car has the original factory window sticker that is attached to the passenger window. It still has all of the original window stickers and factory markings on the exterior. So as an example, there's a sticker here on this front windshield. This is for the actual springs. There was these actual blocks that were installed in the springs that were for shipping purposes. These were taking off during the pre-delivery. We have those blocks. They are included with the car. They were saved by the gentleman who owned this car. He was a huge Mopar enthusiast. He actually ordered 2 of these cars. I have both of the order forms included in this binder. I'll go over that in a minute. One of them was red. This one obviously was black. The red one he actually used a little bit more frequently. They actually sold that car first of the 3 cars that he owned. That car had, I think, 7,000 or 8,000 miles on it. But this is the one that he truly wanted to save as an investment, tucked it away in his garage, covered it, and I cannot say enough about the condition of this vehicle. So again, I want to be very, very clear. This is hands down the cleanest vehicle that we've ever owned at MS Classic Cars from this generation. Again, you're talking something that's 30 plus years old. It truly looks and smells like a brand new car. I'm sitting in here now and I cannot believe the way that it smells. So it's one thing to find a vehicle that has low mileage. We've owned many cars over the years that have super low mileage. It's another thing to find a car with super low mileage, but it presents itself like it was purchased yesterday. This car was obviously well taken care of. It was in a climate-controlled garage where there was no humidity, there's no oxidation, there's no deterioration. It is like brand spanking new. So this is a very, very epic moment for us to even have this car and for you as a potential buyer or enthusiast to even see this car. So let's get back into some of these details here. So as I was mentioning, it still has stickers on the car from the factory. The first one is on this windshield. There's actually the window sticker, which we mentioned earlier. If I were to roll up this window, you will actually see the writing that's on the window. I can go ahead and turn the key on here and pull this up. You can see that. That's actually factory. In the back window, you will see another sticker on the bottom of the window. You will actually see more writing on the window. None of that stuff was taken off this vehicle. He wanted to leave it as original as he possibly could. So again, all of that information is still on the car. We were very careful when we cleaned the car not to remove any of it. We just thought that that added to the vehicle's character and so forth. The original factory plastic for the interior is also included. We'll bring in those photos, show you here. Very, very cool that all of that stuff was still on the car. So when we got the car, the plastic that was on the driver's seat was taken off maybe once or twice, it looked like, or it's slightly torn. So we actually decided to take it off completely. What I did is I put those all in individual Ziploc bags. I marked them so people would know what they were for in the future. The passenger seat, I don't think it was ever taken off because when we detailed the car, we really were quite careful taking it off, but it appeared it had never been taken off before. That is included. There was plastic on the steering wheel. That is included as well. And there was also a bigger piece of plastic that was in the rear cargo area that's included as well. So all of the factory plastic for the interior is included. And again, it's pictured within our photo gallery if you want to go ahead and check that out. Also pictured in our gallery is the original stealth carpeted floor mats. The floor mats have never been taken out of the plastic. They are sealed. Really cool. Those are in the car as well. That's included. As I mentioned earlier, the spring restraint blocks for the shipping, those are included. Those are pictured within our gallery. The original lug wrench with all the tools, all of that stuff's included as well. So getting into some of the documentation here. As I created this binder here, we flip forward past all the production numbers. We flip past the copy I made of the window sticker. Before I forget to mention it, because it's right here, this is actually the Carfax report that's pulled on this vehicle. What it does is it clearly states all the information about this car. Obviously, it's never had any accidents or any damage. The mileage checks out. Everything about it checks out. It shows that MS Classic Cars provided the report because we are a Carfax dealer at MS Classic Cars. It shows that back in 2001, the car had 37 miles on it. It shows that one of the recalls was done, but again, it has a clean Carfax report that is clearly included with the vehicle. Flipping over to some of the documentation. So I'm going to kind of just go through this really quickly here. You can again see all of these in our photo gallery, but this is from the dealership. This is actually an original envelope. This is another envelope here. This car was sold at First Chrysler Plymouth Dodge, which was in Wisconsin, where I got the car from. Also, earlier when I had mentioned that he ordered 2 vehicles, so there is no confusion, I put a Post-it note on here. This is for the red car that he ordered. He went to the dealership. This is the motor vehicle purchase contract. This was in January 29th of 1990. He caught wind that these cars were going to be coming. He wanted to jump on the ordering process, and he ordered the red one. Then in October, it was actually October 15th of 1990, he actually ordered the car that I'm sitting in here today. So that was really cool that both of these are included. Of course, once the vehicle arrived, they had to go through the vehicle. They did what's called a new vehicle preparation. This is from Chrysler Motors. Has the VIN number on here. This was actually done on May 15th, 1991. That's when the car came in. That's included. The bill of sale from the dealership, this is included as well. You can see his name on here. You can see his address, his information. So again, the bill of sales here. It shows that he took delivery of this vehicle, purchased this vehicle on May 20th of 1991. There's a Chrysler Motors Corporation customer delivery procedure form. Again, his name, the date, the VIN number, all of that is included here. There's another thing here, the dealer certification for emission control equipment. That's included here as well. It's all been signed off. It still has the date on here. And this is the application for title and registration. Again, everything coincides with all the paperwork. That is really cool. And then the recall that I mentioned that he took care of, this recall was done on November 4th of 1993 at the dealership that he bought the car from. Again, you can see his information on here. Before I forget, we are going to also include a picture of the title that I have. The title is original. It's the original title in his name. Obviously, the new owner, it will be reassigned to, so the new owner will officially be the second owner of the car. Because I'm a dealer, I don't really count as the second owner. So again, we do have the original title to this vehicle, which is really cool. So all of that information here that I just went over is included. The other thing that I would mention to you, at MS Classic Cars, we're the only classic car dealership in the country who services every vehicle that we sell. We document that work with an invoice. We just listed a 2017 Shelby GT350 that has extremely low mileage on it, like this vehicle does here. I bought it from the original owner. Even that vehicle, we pushed through our service department. We took care of a few things that needed to be done. Whether somebody decides to drive the car or not drive the car, you just want to be rest assured that you can do whatever you want. And that's our goal here at the dealership with every car we sell, is to put people in a position where they don't have to get a vehicle, worry about all the stuff they have to do, they can't drive it, or if they don't want to drive it, at least they don't have to worry about making a checklist and stuff before they put it into their collection. So with this vehicle here, we do have an invoice that clearly documents all the work that we did. We really crossed the T's and dotted the I's with this car. We went through the whole car. with all of its fluids. I'm talking oil, I'm talking coolant, we're talking brake fluids and things like that. We went through all the injectors in the car. We even went to the extent of replacing the fuel tank because we wanted to make sure that any new gas that was going to be put in the car was not going to get contaminated, and then again go through all the fuel lines and so forth. We did all the plugs. We even replaced the timing belt. We inspected the timing belt obviously before we did it. I actually took a few pictures of that for anybody that cares to see it. Maybe we'll even post it in our photo gallery now that I'm mentioning it. But the timing belt was like brand spanking new. But because people probably would have some concern that it was older, we even went to the extent and we replaced the timing belt. So again, we went through the entire car. Everything in this car is in working order. All of the lights, all the windows, all of the locks, the stereo system, the air conditioning, everything is in working order. So again, if the new owner decides that he or she wants to take the car out and enjoy it, put a few miles on it, you can be rest assured that it's very safe and ready to rock and roll. On that note, the only thing that would need to be done, again, just because it would be recommended from a safety standpoint, the tires. The tires are in beautiful condition. They're really, again, in exceptional condition considering the age, but because there's life expectancy with tires from a safety rating and the age of the tires, it probably would be smart to buy a second set of tires and keep these tires so they always stay with the car. So, getting into the exterior of the vehicle. What I would like to do at this particular moment is I'd like to do a really quick exterior presentation of the vehicle. My job is going to be to highlight the entire vehicle. I'll point out any imperfections at all that we might find. I have not found one imperfection with this car, but as I inspect it a little bit closer, I might see something that I'll mention. If not, you'll clearly get a good presentation. The other thing that I'd like to do is I'd like to do an electronic paint meter presentation as I'm walking around the car. This again will verify that this vehicle does retain all of its original factory paint. So we'll go ahead and do that now and let you check it out. So what I'd like to do is a quick exterior walk around presentation of this vehicle and point out any imperfections if I can find one. I have yet to find one, but maybe if I get a little bit closer here again in this video, we will find one. I'm also going to do an electronic paint meter presentation to verify this vehicle also has all of its original paint. What I'd like to do is have you come a little bit closer here. Before I shut this hood, we have to get a visual here. I know our pictures are excellent. They're highly detailed. We do have a video, obviously, to show that the motors are in running condition. It runs beautiful, but you really have to see this closer to really understand the quality of this engine compartment. Keep in mind, this vehicle is over 30 years old. Look at how beautiful everything is. Again, it's really super hard to find something of this age in this condition. When you look at the VIN tag here on the inner fender, you look at the bolts, you look at the factory paint marks, the wiring, the zip ties, you get into the battery terminals, the fuse boxes, all of these hoses, all these stickers, the pliability of the hoses here, the clamps, you can see the factory paint mark on here. Nothing is oxidized. There's no deterioration anywhere. It is in just absolutely brand new condition. I would put this engine bay up against a brand new car that you'd find at your local dealership here today in 2020. So, want to make sure I showed you that. Talking about the exterior, we're going to start with the bumper here. I don't see anything on this bumper. I'm going to mention anything that I see, even if it's as small as the size of a pencil tip, I will mention it. Understand the car does have a couple pieces of dust on it, so if you see something in this video that looks like it's an imperfection, if I don't see it here, obviously it's not. But anyway, I'm searching on this hood. We are in a showroom here. It's very bright. The lights are beaming on this. I don't really see anything at all here that's worth mentioning. Again, I don't want to touch every piece of dust. So what I will do at this point is I'll pull out my paint meter. Every vehicle does read slightly different depending on the manufacturer. With this particular paint meter here, factory readings show between a 2 and somewhere around an 8, somewhere in that range. We've had cars read all in between. What this does is it tests for original paint. So let's go ahead and test this vehicle here. So we got a 4.0, clearly original paint. And again, these numbers might differ. This is the first time I've actually done a full paint meter reading on this car. When I first got it, I checked it in a couple of areas. Everything checked out perfect. So you can see again, factory paint. We'll make our way over to the side fender here. I'm just gonna see if I see anything at all. Again, it has a little bit of dust here and there, but it looks absolutely flawless. We'll go ahead and check that. That's a 3.5. So again, original factory paint. I'll go down here as well. 4.5, original factory paint. Notice these tires here, a little rock in the tire tread here. No big deal. These are the original tires. These are Goodyear Eagle ZR45s. This wheel is in beautiful condition. It is flawless. It even has markings still on the rim, unheard of. Again, the glass is absolutely flawless. This car really has never been driven, so you wouldn't expect road chips and things like that, but this is the sticker that I was mentioning in the video, the original VIN tag, the glass stamp. Again, the wipers, everything is in absolutely new condition. These mirrors are actually heated mirrors. There's a little symbol here on the mirror, which is kind of cool. But what I'll do is I'll start from the top of the roof. I don't see any imperfections in this roof at all. This is a 4.0, so original factory paint. We did not cut this car with heavy compound when we buffed it. We clay barred it. We did a very light compound, and then we polished it. So you might see the smallest little hairline scratches on the car. Again, if you look under bright light in a showroom like this, but again, it was not worth cutting the paint because it just doesn't really look like anything that would need to be addressed. Driver's door, 3.5, original factory paint. I'll hit it one more time over here. Again, 3.5 original factory paint. If this car had had body work, we'd be getting readings in the 9, 10, 12, 20. We've had cars read as high as 25 that have had body work done in the past. But opening up this door here, you'll see, again, in beautiful condition, the original VIN tag here, original stickers, all the information's in place. Look at these gaskets. This is the part that impresses me the most. Look at the quality of these gaskets. It's like brand new. It's like looking at a brand new car. Look at this. The bolsters have zero wear on them. The seat belts, there's even from just getting in and getting out of the vehicle, there's no indications that anybody's ever even done that before. Again, the seats were covered in plastic until we pulled them off. This is the original dealer stock tag. I didn't mention that earlier. This is really cool. It has the original owner. His last name was actually on here with the stock number, the color of the car, and everything else. Very cool. Using the paint meter here on the driver's rear quarter. Again, 3.5 original factory paint. I'll go over to the back side here as well. Again, 3.5. Looking again at this original Goodyear tire. It's in absolutely beautiful condition. Remember what I had said earlier. These tires have no dry rot. There's no cracking. They're in absolutely beautiful condition. They still have all the beads on them. Here's the wheel again. It's in beautiful condition. No signs of anything at all with this wheel, any imperfection. This is actually just a little bit of armor all in here. I just wiped it off with my hands. They're flawless. And just like the front wheel, that little spots on this wheel as well, these are like factory paint marks. Okay, making our way over to the back of the vehicle. Again, I don't see any imperfections worth mentioning. This is a 3.5, again, factory original paint. These bumpers here, these are plastic, so they're not going to read. You'll see nothing happens because they're plastic. Again, Rear deck, 3.5. It's in beautiful condition, all original factory paint. Those are the markings that we had mentioned before. These are factory markings. We wanted to leave those all on the glass. There's also a little sticker here. That's the Master Shield protection from Chrysler Motors. We wanted to leave that sticker on there as well. Making our way to the passenger rear quarter. Again, I don't see one imperfection, not anything to speak of. A 4.5, so we have original factory paint. 3.5, same thing. Get down, look at this tire again. The tire looks absolutely beautiful. Original tire, wheels are flawless. There's that same mark on this wheel as well from the factory. Again, still has all its knobs and everything. The glass is in absolutely flawless condition. I'll go ahead and hit this side of the roof. We got a 4.0, all original factory paint. This is the window sticker that has never been taken off this window. I did attempt to just peel it a little bit to see how easily it would come off, and it started to tear, so I didn't want to mess with it any longer. So that window sticker does have to stay on the window, because if you do take it off, you'll start to take off some of the lettering and stuff. So I would highly recommend the new owner leaves this where it is. Now, paint meter for passenger door, 4.0, original factory paint readings. Same thing on the front of the door. Again, these mirrors have that little defrost symbol here, so they're heated, which is really cool. Making our way over to the passenger front fender, 3.5 factory paint and 3.5 factory paint. I'll go ahead and just hit the hood one more time, 4.0 factory paint. Last but not least, the front passenger wheel here, again, in absolutely beautiful condition. There's no dry rotting, there's no cracks. The wheel's in flawless condition, and there's that paint mark once again from the factory on the front wheel. This is just truly unheard of. This car, again, if this was a new car dealership and I was a salesperson, manager, dealer principal, whoever, and you walked in, it'd be like stepping back in 1991 and I have a brand new Dodge Stealth RT Turbo, which was essentially a supercar of its time. So now that we just did the exterior presentation, let's get into this interior here. I really cannot say enough about the interior of this car. If I truly was sitting in the dealership back in 1991, this car was brand new on the showroom floor. That's exactly what it feels like, what it smells like, and what it looks like. So there's not a whole lot for me to talk about here. Again, the headliner is absolutely perfect. There's no signs of it drooping or coming unglued anywhere. All the pillars are in beautiful condition. The sun visors are actually still really strong. All of the instrumentation in here is in working order. The dash there's no signs of any fading. There's no cracking. This is a really cool interior. As you'll see in the photos or see in this video, the way they designed this was a real unique design. They kind of tailored this dash here around the pot of gauges, which I thought was really cool. But again, all of the instrumentation, all the power windows, all the power door locks, all the features that this car has to offer, everything including the air conditioning is in working order. The same thing with the rear compartment there where the spare is. All the carpeting back there, everything is in super condition. Even the pumps still hold. The deck lit up beautifully. They do with the hood as well. Again, the gentleman who owned this car clearly maintained this and took excellent care of it throughout its entire ownership history. So again, there's nothing for me to mention in here that I would not describe as new. When we're looking at the engine compartment, I would say the same exact thing. Everything in the engine compartment is absolutely spectacular and reflective of a car that has 65 miles on it. It still has all the factory paint marks, all of the factory stickers, all the factory original parts. Nothing on this vehicle other than what we did at MS Classic Cars was ever changed. This is as original of a vehicle as you will ever find. When we get into the undercarriage, one thing I do want to mention about the undercarriage, as you can see on the form that he did here, This is when he originally ordered the vehicle. The motor vehicle purchase contract here that I had mentioned that he had done for this back in October of 1990, it clearly states down here, Chrysler rust proof. And he paid $239 to have that done. So based on this here, that appears that it was done at the factory, because that was something that he did when he ordered the vehicle. So the vehicle has been rust proofed underneath, so you will see how beautiful of a job they did when they rust proofed it and how clean the undercarriage is. All of these bolts on this vehicle, all of the rubber gaskets, all of the seals, everything about it is like new. I just can't say enough about it. It's really spectacular. And just to finish this video here, before we get into starting the car, I just want to make note here of a few things that people might or might not know about these cars. This particular vehicle, as I mentioned earlier, although it is a twin turbo, it is a 6-cylinder, it has 300 horsepower. What's really cool about this vehicle is it's all-wheel drive. That's the other thing that some people don't know, or some people do and understand that had a lot to do with its drivability. Not only is it all-wheel drive, but it has the hydraulic control 4-wheel steering. That is a really cool feature. All the wheels actually turn at certain speeds, which enable it to obviously perform better and handle better on the roads. So that is a really cool feature. The other thing I'll mention is this is a 5-speed transmission. So again, when you take that power plant with 300 plus horse, again 307 torque, and you put it behind this 5-speed transmission here, it's an absolute beast of a car to drive. And again, these cars are really, really good looking. They're comfortable, they're fast, and they really, really do the job. So can't say enough about it. You'll have to go on our website, read all the standard features that this car has, check out the window sticker. Just remember, this vehicle was $31,495 back in 1991. So I think it's super, super impressive. We are going to go ahead now and start the car. What I'm going to do here is a cold start. Normally at MS Classic Cars, we pull the cars outside, we start them up, let them warm up, we bring them back inside, then we start them and let them idle and stuff. What I'm going to do this time is go ahead and start it cold so you can hear a cold start. We will be doing a driving video of this car. We plan on doing that over the next day or so. Right now the weather's not so good, it's raining, but as soon as the roads dry up, probably a day or two from this video, we will do a short driving video. We do not want the miles to start getting too high here. We want to try to keep it as low as possible for obvious reasons, but we will do a driving video. But for today, I'm going to do a cold start. So we'll go ahead and start it up right now and let you listen how beautiful it runs. So there you go. I hadn't started this car in probably 4 or 5 days since we actually finished detailing it. It's been sitting in the showroom. We had a few other things to do. Now we're doing this video here, but you saw how quickly the car started. It runs absolutely beautiful. Within a couple minutes here, it's going to go down to low idle and purr like a kitten. So once again, we appreciate you watching. If you have any questions, please feel free to email me. Our email address is on our contact page of our website at msclassiccars.com. You can also call me. Any questions that you have about the car, the number here is 508-557-0152. Please make sure to also sign up for our VIP email blast if you have not done so yet, and please follow us on social media. We would really appreciate the interest. We have so many great cars in the MS Classic Cars collection, so please stay tuned for some absolutely spectacular cars to come. Thanks again for watching and appreciate your interest. Something that I also thought was worth mentioning, which is a cool feature, especially considering the age of this car, is the exhaust has 2 different settings depending on how aggressive of a sound you want. So we have the first setting, which is actually the tour mode, where it's actually pretty quiet. I'll give it a little bit of a rev here. You might not hear it fully, but you can hear it enough. I'll do it again. You can see how nice it sounds. And then you can flip it to a sport mode, which actually opens it up now. The light goes off there on the dash. And if I rev it up now, you can definitely hear the difference between the two.